The Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Yes, everyone. It's the Kim Jacobs Show, and I am like giddy excited, like a girl opening up some Christmas presents or something under the Christmas tree, because guess what? I have the owner and the founder and the director of CTR Media Network, none other than Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here.
Are you as excited as I am about you being here? I am.
Yes, but I'm waking up because you know how I am. I am a slow riser.
That's because you're such a hard worker. You actually work so hard all throughout the day that when you probably go to sleep, you crash.
I do, because you guys mean just that much to me, and we work all the shifts here at CTR Media Network, the family and our team.
Well, I'm excited to be a part of the team, and many of you all often hear me talk about CTR Media Network and how we are streaming in over 350 million households and over 100 countries. And so when I say that, I'm actually talking about this media. Is it mogul? I don't know what the way. I think it's mogul. Which one is it? It's like saying baloney and bologna. Which one?
Well, they say mogul, but I mean, with God's help. Because
with God's help, right. You're right. The point is you're building an empire, and it's CTR Media Network under your direction. And I know your husband. Tell us, your husband, he helps with you as well. Curtis, talk to us.
Yes, he does. And so my husband and I, we started this media company, and it's been a true labor of love when I say it, because originally, I'm the podcaster. I'm a full-time podcaster. For those of you who may not know, I have my own show, top rated show myself. And so having him by my side, he does the production in regards to the look, the feel, because he's a videographer and a photographer. So God gave us these gifts. We merged them together. Our children are very great at what they do as well. And we have an amazing team that outstretch us from the United States to globally that we work with in order to get our podcasters out, to spread that visibility, and most of all, make a positive impact, because that's our foundation. We're all about making a positive impact and sharing the love.
Well, awesome. We're going to talk a lot more about CTR Media Network throughout this hour, but I just wanted to give you just an initial moment to open things up. Listen, let me formally take a moment to acknowledge one of our episode sponsors, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give a formal introduction of this beautiful queen that's here with us today, Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. Okay, so let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back, and you're going to hear a lot more about this beautiful soul that's here salting this earth. We'll be right back.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
Everyone, we are back talking with Dr. Tina J. Ramsay today. She is an accomplished global inspiration and motivational speaker, as well as a 3-time best-selling author recognized by Dr. Sherwood as one of the top 100 global speakers in the world. And she's graced over 100 stages. And this woman passionately delivers her message on resilience and empowerment. She is actually distinct. She's really a leader in some distinct areas like homeschooling and podcasting, but she's left her indelible mark on the educational industry for over 25 years, and especially focusing on special needs education, planning and curriculum development, lots of different things. So I have so much to share with you, and she does too, throughout this broadcast. And we're going to learn a lot more about her backstory as well. Welcome, Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love being over here.
I love having you. So listen, I know you balance being a mother, you balance being a wife, and a long-term wife, not just, just dabbling your feet in it or anything. You've been there for a minute as a wife. And you also, again, created CTR Media Network. So I want you to just talk to us about how you balance all of those different areas of your life. How do you manage that? Because people are watching and need to know.
Well, honestly, I don't have any true balance per se. I have to focus on one thing at a time, and also give myself grace, understanding that in this thing that we call life, I have been known to say life be lifing at moments. And so as a mother, you only could do so much in a 24-hour day. And as a business owner, the same thing. And also as a community leader. So whatever I'm focusing on at that time, whether it's my community activism or if it's homeschooling or podcasting, I give my 110%. They're also having open communication with my family, with my husband of over 20 years, letting him know, and my children, like, just because I'm doing this right now and I'm not available, that does not mean that you're not important. It's just that I need to do this right now. But we have our time that I am very intentional on making sure that I block out time. I add my family on my schedule list because, we have all these schedules, right?
Right.
So I have them making sure that we don't miss our time together. I put them in time slots, date times, just talking, speaking, homeschooling, whatever the case may be. Right. And we also have one designated day, which is on Wednesdays, which is our family spiritual day, that we take time to do all the things that we wanted to do. But every day they have, they're one of my they're my first clients.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because we are very similar in that regard. And, I'm the balance doctor. So yeah. I 100% do exactly what you're talking about. So last night I had my children come down for a praise report. I said, everybody come down. I want to share with you something that God did for me. And what that did is it sparked everyone to share a praise report that they are working on. And some of the things that they said, I didn't even know that it was like that was their update. But had we not met, guess what? I would have missed out on the praise report that they had lying on the inside of them. So I agree that having those times where you schedule your family, doing movies, we did movies over the holidays, and just having designated time to do things that are fun for everyone, because we all like different things.
Yeah.
So what is it, something that your children want to do that maybe you hadn't thought about, but you schedule it and then everyone ends up enjoying it? Bowling, whatever it is, something that's fun for everyone,
I agree. And for me, I have to make sure that I'm intentional, because you can really have your day max out to capacity. And I'm doing my God-given talent, what he put me on this earth to do. And it's not like I don't love what I do, because I do. And so you can easily get overly consumed with your God-given gift. He gave it to me in order to make a positive impact, but he did not give it to me in order to remove myself from my family and all of that. So I had to really come back and have some time with God and pray on how can I truly, I won't say balance, but manage it in a way that everybody has a piece of me, and I schedule time for myself and him, along with having time for myself to be quiet by myself, so that I can get my thoughts together and pour back into myself. Because we, as mothers, we tend to pour into everyone else all the time. And if you're an entrepreneur, or you have, like with myself, having all of you on the network, I love you guys just like you're my family.
Yes, you do.
I could just get so consumed, and I have to really, my hardest part is balancing that, because I love what I do. I realize it's a gift from God, but I cannot forget the connection that I need to have with my family, most of all with God, as we grow this empire, this territory that he gave us.
Yes. I want to hear also from the studio audience. How are you managing balancing your family, your ministry, entrepreneurship, your whatever hats that you're wearing, roles and responsibilities that God has given to you? Tell us in the comment section. I'll pop it up for you. And also let you know if you want to join in today's discussion, I'm going to pop this link here. It'll bring you right backstage and you'll be able to come into the broadcast. You do have to show your camera. Now, obviously, if you're listening on the podcast audio version, you're not doing that, but you can definitely like and follow and subscribe on all of the audio podcast outlets as well. So make sure you all share your thoughts on what you do to manage your roles and responsibilities. I love to pop those up on the screen. Oh, here. I see some right now. Thank you already. Ernetta Caldwell, who is our Reinvent Yourself, especially after dealing with divorce. She comes on as one of our Freestyle Friday experts. And you would love Ernetta Caldwell. And I would really highly recommend anything that she's doing to be a part of CTR Media Network. That's my endorsement of Ernetta Caldwell.
When Kim pulled down them glasses, she's serious. Now listen,
I'm serious. No, I seriously. I love supporting and celebrating other women and entrepreneurs, women or men, but I love supporting other women entrepreneurs. A lot of times it's always like it's either she can have this or I can have that. No, God creates it where we can all have the opportunity to support each other because we all connect with people differently.
That's true.
Isn't that a big deal?
It's a big deal. And we need to stop trying to people in general holding the monopoly on people. You don't own people. You don't own. Yeah, we all have our network that helps with our net worth, but we should never use people as pawns and feel like we have to have, oh, if they work with me, they can't work with you. That's selfish. It don't make any sense. And so, like you said, all of us meet in different places. We bring different things to the table. Their experience with me may be different from their experience with you. But the goal is helping everyone get to their purpose and their goal of why they're here and get to the people that they're supposed to help. Because I can't help who Kim helped. Kim can't help who I help. We have our assignments. Okay. And so when we do stuff like that, we stop the overflow of God's Holy Spirit to get his end purpose in mind, and he's going to have it whether we do our assignment or not. He'll just put somebody else in the spot. So
well, the two of y'all seem like you're not working it out. So I'll just move you two aside and give this person another connection that gets it. And you know what? And that's why we have such a great partnership. And we'll talk about that throughout the broadcast as well. Let's see other comments that came in. Sandy Sanders, Conversations with Sandy is amazing. And definitely you want to check out her podcast as well. Being intentional about your balance. So making time to just
breathe. I agree.
Just breathe. How can we do anything without breathing? So we have to take time to breathe properly. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Virginia Rutherford Hall has a new show out called The Wings of Wisdom. She's been in the travel industry for over 25 years. And she talks about taking flight in life and how you go to the highest heights of what God has intended for your life. And now has a show called The Wings of Wisdom. And it's on Wednesdays. So all the W's, Wings of Wednesday on Wednesday. Praise report is powerful, powerful. Yes. Thank you, Virginia Rutherford Hall. All right. I see all of your comments coming in. Listen, we're going to take another. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Curtis. Oh, Kurt, your husband trying to get some brownie points. He on here.
He the COO. He better be on here. Let me stop.
He like, hey baby, how you doing?
Doing.
How long have y'all been married?
22 years. 22.
Wow.
He is my best friend. We've been friends. We've been knowing each other probably like 27 years. And he was my friend first. We were friends before we became romantically involved, I should say. And the beautiful thing about our relationship is that it started and it remains with God as the third person in our marriage. So I know that that's the reason why we lasted so long, because we didn't allow outside people to dictate what we do in our marriage, we only allow God to direct our steps, like Jeremiah 10:23. And we have a commitment to having that open communication, active listening, and always thinking of the other person first and making sure that we follow the headship that's outlined in the Bible. I understand my role as a woman, and it's not diminishing me in any way to be a submissive wife. It's not dismiss. I mean, it is a reward that God placed women to be a helper, be able to support. Because let me tell you something. Many people say that the woman is the neck and the man is the head, but the neck helps the head turn.
That's right.
Okay, so never it's your role. Yes, that's my honey.
I was trying to look through the pictures I had. I was like, let me find a husband. What that is?
It's him, and normally he's in the background. So right now he's coming more in the forefront because he's always behind the camera. And so I said, babe, you got to start coming out so people can see you, because my family, all of us, the driving force. I have amazing parents as well that is a driving force, mainly God, but they actually help, in the flesh to push me and keep me going on those moments when you feel like giving up. Because truth be told, everyone, no matter how successful you are, you do hit those moments in life where you feel like you can't go on, or you feel you doubt the gifts that you have, or you feel like the assignment is just too great. And so those moments, your circle becomes very important. The people who you have surrounded around you. And so that what helps me a lot. And we laugh together at the end of the day. So we laugh a lot.
That's awesome. Dr. Lotus Rashay is on. If you have not checked out the Lotus Rashay Ignites show, that is a global program as well. And she really does ignite people to take flight in their lives. She believes that note takers are money makers, and you definitely want to tune into everything that she has going on. Dr. Lotus Rashay. She said, another great show with an amazing guest. Glad to have you on, Dr. Lotus, and thank you for sharing it globally. That's how the Kim Jacobs Show gets global too. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, Dr. Tina Ramsay, you're sharing some powerful knowledge with women, with people that are married, with mothers. You're letting people know that that's the first ministry type of thing. It's not about just going around being a godsend to everybody else, but being able to be a godsend even at home. And so I admire the fact that you're sharing that. And that's what I too believe and value within everything that I do. Like if I can't try to make sure that things are happening on the home front, then it's hard to motivate and inspire other people out in the world. But I also believe that there's things that happen in our journey that it tries to discourage you from then being an example to other people. But God already knew that you would be going through some of those seasons in your life. Do you want to speak to any of those? Because you went through something that was very traumatic at the age of 25. And that was before all of the stuff that we'll talk about that. But I want you to talk just about what we just said, how to kind of inspire people that deal with trials and tribulations, and yet they still are an example to still salt this earth. Any thoughts on that?
Sure. So one thing I want people to understand, and I had to understand this myself because I'm that type of spirit, that type of person that once I meet you, once I connect with you, I want you to be in my life forever. I just really love with all my heart. So if I'm with you, I'm with you. It's like you don't have to even second guess it. I have your back 1000%. But in that interim, I had to understand the complexities of relationships, business building, personal relationship versus platonic relationships. And with that, expectations, those expectations that you have. And people come into your life for one or two reasons. They come to either bring you a blessing or teach you a lesson. Okay. And very few, it's a rare person that comes along that bring you both. It's some people that's unique. They bring you both. They bring you a blessing and they teach you a lesson. Okay. And so you have to learn to identify and categorize people for what they truly are. Not saying that they're bad people or whatever like that, but they're the people that's there to teach you a lesson. maybe you had a partnership that just didn't work out or didn't go the way that you anticipated. You prayed about it, you pondered about it, and then this person or people came into your life and you looked at it like, this is the answer to my prayer. And then you start working together and it worked out fine in the beginning. Then later on, as time progressed, you know that the relationship changed. Now, that does not necessarily mean that that's a bad person. It just means that their time with you has expired. And sometimes we hold on to people too long. And then when they don't give the expectation that we desire, we look at them like, well, they did me wrong. No, they was there for a purpose and we hold it too long. And everybody's not in your life for a lifetime. Most people are in your life for a season, for a reason and a season. Okay. And that season can be years. That season can be a month. It can be very short. They like leaves. Leaves fall every single year during fall, but they always come back. Most people are leaves. They come into your life and then they leave. All right. Understand that it's a blessing to learn from people, even if they don't stay in your life, even if they're lesson people. Sometimes we get so caught up in the emotion of it. But they did this. They said they was going to do that and they didn't do this. Well, guess what? God is showing you the different personalities and preparing you for your breakthrough. So they came into your life to teach you this personality, to teach you how to manage communication, so that when you go to the next assignment that God has for you and you run into that personality, you like, oh, I know this personality. This is not going to work for me.
This is not going to work for me because we already know, because I already been counted it. So I learned from it. So we don't need it.
That's okay. That's okay. And so I appreciate the relationships that did not work out, as well as the ones that did, or the ones that kind of gradually they didn't go away, but they're not active. Like, you're not working with them all the time. They come along in those moments when you need them most. And so I appreciate it. I had to mature to this realization, and God revealed it to me. Yeah. And I just feel like we need to accept people at the place that they're at, and do not put our expectations on them. We can see their potential. We can see what they can do, and can see what we would like for them to do with us as a collective, but that might not be in their wheelhouse to do. That might not be their personality. We put our intentions on other people that may not be mentally or physically ready to do that next step. And then we get upset when they can't do it.
And it's okay. It's okay that they can't do it, because it may not even been meant for them to do it. It's just that we think that they should be willing to do it, but God may have a different plan for them in their lives. And so we have to be mindful that just because God is putting something in our spirit to do, that it may not necessarily fall in alignment with what God is sharing with them to do. So we have to be respectful of the fact that they have their own purpose and their mission and their calling as well. So it's a lot of factors to consider when we're dealing with other people and who's overseeing their lives as well. So I'm writing about that in this. I wrote about it. It's 2 years ago, sitting in. Girl, let me just show you. Look, this right here, a whole manuscript that I had written, and I will get. I'm a big believer in finishing what you start. So you know that, because we had we'll talk about that later. I am a big believer in finishing what you start, no matter what. To finish it. All right, let's go to some of the studio audience comments. And Mackenzie, thank you for being backstage working with us. I'd like to acknowledge you back there as well. Okay, go ahead, pop some of these comments up for me if you don't mind. Let's see what the studio audience is saying. Let me see here. I see you, Sheila Hill. Sheila Hill, you rock over there in the CTR Media Network podcasting world. Y'all follow her. She has some great things going on. Thank you so much. She said, hello, queens. You are a queen over there too, Sheila. Dr. Lotus Roche says, sometimes the very thing that we are holding on to may be the very thing or person that God, source, is telling us to release. When we release, we grow. There's no lack in moving forward, devoid of what does not work for us. Be empowered to move. How many
Yes.
people agree with that comment? Put an amen.
Amen. Yes, I do. I agree with it. But I had to mature to that. I had to learn over time, many heartbreaks, crying tears. I would say in my place, praying for understanding and direction with God to understand the complexities of the human way of thinking. I am a psychiatrist. I love psychiatry and sociology. Actually, FYI, many people don't know this. I was actually wanting to go to school to be a psychiatrist. So I'm very in tune with the complexities of how we socialize and interact with each other. And I just reached to a point where I said, I'm having these type of interactions and I don't understand what's going on. And it cannot be what I feel it is, because I see the goodness in everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is it that I'm not getting and I'm not understanding? And I had to mature to it, and God had to reveal it to me slowly but surely. And I had to understand that you just can't hold on to everybody. They're there for a moment or a season, or teach you a lesson or bring you a blessing. And you have to have the willpower to move on. You have to have the willpower, but still want the best for them to be successful. But you have to understand that everything has its moment and season, because like she said, if you don't, you will not grow. You will become stagnant in your purpose, what God has for you. And we don't want that.
That's good. Good advice. Let's see. Another comment came in. I took the glasses off. Okay. I enjoy those words about your marriage. And this is from Matata. And he says that may God keep you together in joy and love for into the old ages. Great comment, Matata. All right. We're going to take a commercial. We're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I want to hear, I know something happened in your life at the age of 25 that really shifted the direction of everything about your life. So we're going to hear more from you about that. Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, for everyone. She is the founder and owner of CTR Media Network, 350 million households. The show, the network streams in with how many podcasts? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Don't worry. We'll talk about that later. All right. But this woman is a media force to be reckoned with. And she's here telling her story. What happened at the age of 25 that changed her life? We'll be right back right after this break. All right, everyone, whatever's happening in that coffee right there with Vibra, people are going off. They literally call me, text me, inbox me, and say how much they love that coffee. So I'm so grateful that they are one of today's episode sponsors, vproducts.store. You can learn more there about the products, and also want to acknowledge that attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm is one of our episode sponsors. If you're dealing with disability, workers' compensation, wrongful death of a loved one, they're in the Virginia, Alabama, and the Carolinas. You can reach them at 704-457-5000. Keep in mind, if you're watching this in a different country, clearly this does not apply to you in this regard. Okay. All right, everybody. I wanted to just do more of a regional acknowledgement of our sponsors. Listen, Dr. Tina Ramsay, tell us what happened to you at the age of 25, if you would. That was literally a near-death experience.
Oh, yes. So at the age of 25, and I am a newly married wife and a new mother. So keep this in mind and let me paint the picture. I was a new mom. My daughter was only 6 months old at the time, and I had a stroke. Now, I have always been that person that's always been in tune with health and wellness. So I ate right. I jogged like 5 to 10 miles a day. I did all the things in regards to food exercise and all that stuff like that. Now, I did have issues with asthma and it's a condition called mitral valve prolapse. So I was on medication, pharmaceutical medication at the time. And at the time, it was 12 medications a day and 4 inhalers every single day. So later on, they were saying that it could have been a mix up of all the different medicines together, because I used to go to a lot. They were just trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. But long story short, I'm not on any medications right now. They told me that I will have to, yes, God is good. They told me that basically I would have to be on the medication for the rest of my life, but God saw different. I went on this health and wellness journey. Shout out to my mom, because my mom was like, no. And she started doing all this different research with different herbs and different stuff, and got me on these regimens and just cleaned my body out. And it really helped me to be able to go on that health and wellness track. Now, I had no idea. I woke up, I had amnesia. I had the stroke in my sleep, so it was not painful. I didn't have all of these different signs and symptoms. My arm wasn't tingly. I just went to sleep one night, and when I woke up, I could not move the bottom extremities of my body from the waist down. I was paralyzed from the waist down, had no feeling. With that being said, my life went into a spiral. See, I am 25 years old. I'm the one that do everything for everyone in my congregation. I'm the one that go pick up the older people on the 1st and the 15th of the month and take them around to pay bills and bring them food. I'm the friend that always come in and bring all the stuff. So now I can't I'm used to being the servant leader and the helper. And now I'm immobile, and I have to have individuals take care of me, such as my husband and my parents. And I'm a new mom with a 6-month-old daughter. So we're literally sitting on the couch waiting to get our baths, because I could not bathe myself. My husband had to do it. He had to lift me, carry me, and do everything for me. And so during that period of time, I had to go to all these doctor offices, seeing people 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years old. I'm going into these clinics, and they look at me and they're like, baby, why are you here? And I'm like, because I have the same problems that you're having. And I don't understand what is going on. I don't understand why. Now, fast forward to now. I understand why I had to go through that, because it created and it built the type of person that I am, that God prepared me for this season, because I had to understand how people feel at their core to be in situations where they had no voice, to lose it all, to gain it all. I had to be at the lowest in order to understand the greatest moment. And I had to also understand that the only person that could bring me through all of that was God. They told me, the doctors told me, that you will never, ever, never, ever, never, ever. And God said, yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And I'm going to show you. So now I can walk. Now I regained almost all of my memory back. And this is not anything I did.
Well, let me ask, how long did it take for you from sitting on that sofa with your husband having to bathe you and your 6-month-old child, which puts him in a totally different expectation and a newly married? That was not what he had signed up for. Not at all.
It took 18 months. I started being able to walk with a cane. And about 2 years after that, I was able to walk by myself. So very slow, because at the time, you know how some people that have a stroke, they have misalignment of their face, the arm, maybe they. So I had that. Everything on my right side, which I'm right hand dominant. So everything on the right side I could not use. So I had to teach myself how to write with my left hand, how to walk, how to build, how to cook, how to wash, how to bake. So right now I'm in a position where I can use both sides of my body equally. And I had to learn how to do things in the dark, because at one time I was losing my sight because I had got diagnosed with lupus. And it was affecting my inner extremities. It was affecting my organs. And so with God's help, and the natural remedies, what happened was that all of this stuff was reversed with God's help through the natural remedies. And so the problems that I had was taken away by using the natural wellness product that God already placed on this earth. And I became an educational advocate and all that, adding that into what I do. And then I thought God was done. And then I end up having my second child years later. Well, about 18 months later, I had my second child. And
this is after you were able to get back to walking and stuff.
After I got back to walking and talking.
Clearly, everything wasn't paralyzed down there.
The organs were still in order. The reproductive organs, God let them stay alive, honey. That's where I said, God got a sense of humor. I'm like,
I know it's a silly interjection. Curtis, like, while I'm bathing you,
child, you're gonna have this child, and he has a biblical name because I said this child was born out of the rubble of my body. That, you know, I said you gotta have a biblical name because Lord knows God brought you to this. I mean,
I had such a silly thought that just came to my mind. I said,
Curtis, it's a valid point for the simple fact that it is what it is. And God showed me that even in activity, he can make life sprout.
That's
and
right.
So, and it's proofs that my son was supposed to be here regardless of the situation. And he came here to teach me lessons and bring me blessings. Now, prior to this, I come from the educational field. So I'm what they call as a behavior specialist. I work with children and family, helping to figure out why it's a breakdown of communication. And when I work with special needs children all my life and their parents, even young adults. And so I'm always been in the arena speaking for the voiceless. And I was fine with that, building and growing and helping them. But God saw something that wasn't right with me. And I say it with this, because when I had my child, and when my child got the diagnosis of autism, even though I helped thousands of children with autism, it was hard for me to accept. Why my child? Now I'm helping parents with children like this and other kind of disabilities. Why my child? I been through enough? What? Are you serious? My child? I mean, I took the vitamins, I did everything. My body is a temple. How in the world is my child going to end up with high functioning autism, developmental delay, and all these other things? How is this humanly possible? And so through that, seeing it through the lenses of my son, it took me to another level in regards to the teaching, the loving, the nurturing that God was preparing me so that I can help parents from firsthand experience, not just something I read in a book or something that I experienced with working with children, but it's a whole different layer when your baby, your child is dealing with something. That's and right. It's a way that you can push and help parents and children and be able to build and develop things with God's help that no one else can do because you live this life. And so I thank God for my son. And he helped me go through all those stages of grief, depression, and all this other stuff that I had to deal with, even my family. And now this child that they said would never be able to do, he'd never be able to do this. They told me that my child would never go past a second grade mindset, which is a 7-year-old. All right. My son now is 17 years old. They say he would never have social skills. He would never be able to do this. They had me a list of things that he would never be able to do. And let me tell you how the power of God. I took that list and I looked at it and I said, this is a list that he will be able to do. He may not be able to do it the way that other people intend, but this will be his I am going to do list. My son is the most active in this house, social. My son will be graduating from high school next year. And so let me tell you something about God and how real he is and how you cannot allow what other people put over your life, your children's life, to dictate the outcome, because God has the final say on what that to be. And so, but God had to work with me. He had to teach me that. And now I realize what I thought was a hindrance, what I thought was a disservice to me, was actually a blessing to me to have a child that learns, because his perspective, the way that he sees life, helps me to be a better mom, be a better business owner, be a better person. And then also having my daughter alongside, because she falls into the gifted and talented arena. I have both perspectives in my home. And they teach me at this point, they're teaching me. And so
That's
I'm
right.
so grateful for my children. And I'm so grateful for what God has done. And all of these are teachable learning moments. And I'm just thankful that God put a special interest in me in all of these different ways. I didn't appreciate him in the beginning because when you're going through the fire, you don't see all the blessings around it. But now that I'm went through it with his help, I'm seeing how he was just giving me that loving training so that I can better service his people.
Yes, and you are servicing his people well. Now, I don't know. I have a lot of pictures back here, but I don't know if I have one specific that you had submitted regarding the children. And so I honor usually what people send in, just so I'm not, so I'm not just popping anything up that people don't want shown. But I know how you respect the the privacy of the family and stuff. But I'm honored that you're talking about your family at this level. So thank you. Listen. You dropping such knowledge. Y'all are getting to see a side of Dr. Tina J. Ramsay here on the Kim Jacobs Show that I really don't know if you've shown this side to other media. No? So this is exclusive? This is exclusive?
Yes, for you, Kim.
This is exclusive on the Kim Jacobs Show, the unveiling of the behind the scenes of Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, right? Thank you for being so transparent and open and candid and sharing your story. And again, lots of comments have come in. I'm going to have to manage this now by myself for a few minutes because I don't have the behind the scenes stuff going on. Sandy says, such a blessing. And Sandy also says, yay. And Kevin Sharp, thank you, Kevin, for being on today. He said that this is a yes, God moment, a yes, God. Yes, God. Lady Justine Hilliard says, what a testimony. And thank you, Jesus, Kevin says as well. Thank you all in the virtual studio audience for just pouring in to share all of these comments. And I appreciate your active participation today. All right, everybody, listen, we're talking with Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back and hear about CTR Media Network and the power of podcasting. We're going to talk about that right after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Experience it in beautiful Florida in February 2024. Join us for 3 days of integrative and intensive health and healing education and empowerment with the expertise of the following Healthopedia author, speaker, and facilitators. The world-renowned homeopath and acupuncture physician, Dr. James Marinakis, 4-decade health coach and holistic nutritionist, Dr. Joe D. Bear, and others such as Kimberly Meredith, Dame Doria Cordova, Rex Sykes, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Serena Brown-Travis, and more. Experience daily morning walking and yoga, interactive participation, panel discussions, and more for your own epiphany of health. Get your tickets now.
All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, and she is the founder and owner of CTR Media Network, but she also has a book called The Power of Podcasting. And this woman knows the ins and outs of podcasting, and I'd like for you to talk to us about how people can obtain your book and tell us what your takeaways are that you want readers to know when they read your book.
Sure. Okay, so the Power of Podcasting book is truly a labor of love. With God's help, so many people have been reaching out for podcast coaching, podcast services, because they know I help build, scale, and grow podcasts, along with getting people on podcast shows and booking them and all that good stuff like that. But the reason why this book was just birthed is because God told me to do it. And in this book, I am not being a gatekeeper of information. I'm literally sharing with you how you can start it. I also have a free, well, it's free to you when you purchase a book from Taking the Initiative, where you can get our course where it can walk you through how to start a podcast. I even talk about sponsorships. I talk about visibility. I even share about my journey and different outlets that you can be on. This book is a labor of love for those of you who can afford to have me as a private coach, and that is okay. You can get in where you fit in. This is my give back. You can purchase it on Amazon, or you can simply go to ctrmedianetwork.com and click our store feature and be able to purchase it there, or get the ebook version, however it is that you want to do it. But if you want to start a podcast, it's in this book, literally. And it's very interactive. So you can read, you're going to write in it. It's like a workbook. It's not just a book. It's a workbook that guides you through the process of starting a podcast. It's more than starting a podcast and just pressing the live button. It's preparation, it's dedication, and you have to know how to do it if you want to scale up. We also have the Podcast Revolution magazine. Both of these actually went #1. So I know God bless it, because I didn't even know a magazine could go #1. Like, really? I'm like, really? I can go #1. So God told me to actually do this as well. So all of this is really the outworking of my purpose with what he has me on this earth to do, which is to help people amplify their voice, to make a positive impact, and to provide a platform, a cost-effective platform to leverage your market share and diversify your audience so that you can attract and bring on the people that you're here to help, okay? And most of the time, small to medium-sized businesses don't even have this level of premium services available to them at these prices. And so that's why CTR was built. It's there for the podcasters, for business and companies to help scale them up, leverage them, and just get them out there to provide that visibility.
Wow. Okay. And Virginia Ruth Hall says awesomeness. She spelled that whole word out. Awesomeness. All right. And Sandy says this is such a blessing. Yes, it is a blessing to have Dr. Tina J. Ramsay with CTR Media Network here. Because the Kim Jacobs Show is a part of this platform as well. We stream in over 350 million households in over 100 countries. And I am quite honored to be a part and affiliated with CTR Media Network and Dr. Tina J. Ramsay and Curtis Ramsay as well, and all of the CTR Media family. So it's just an honor and a privilege. And we are a family over there. Now I'm a part of other networks as well. And Dr. Tina does not make it where it's exclusive that I only have to be with CTR Media. Some contracts I'd actually signed before I became a part of CTR Media, and I'm honored to be a part of them as well. And so you'll hear me talking about them more throughout the year. And I'm honored to be affiliated with each of them. So anyway, okay, listen, I want to actually just introduce you to CTR Media Network a little bit more. So let's play just this quick commercial.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, everyone, let's learn more about CTR Media Network from you. You're right here live and in person. So tell us about, and listen, before I even say that, if you are interested in being a part of CTR Media Network, I want you to use this jot form. It's over there in the comments section, and complete it. Yeah, you can copy and paste it and complete it. And that's my referral link to you all being referred to CTR Media Network. If you don't use the form, just say Kim Jacobs sent you and she'll make note of it, because they do not. I can tell you this because there are people that have been sent that way and they were like, Kim, they are not ready for CTR Media Network, and it's okay. But just say Kim sent you, and then she'll make that determination. I don't get to dictate whether you become a part of CTR Media Network or not. That's up to the owner and founder, not me. All right. But let them know too, we have our own partnership with you referring people over to the group training that I do with Kim Jacobs show and teaching people how to start their own shows, virtual shows from scratch. Can you talk a little bit about that partnership a little bit, and then talk about CTR Media Network too?
So one thing that I believe in is community, okay? And I understand that I don't know everything. And even when I do know something and someone is doing the exact same thing, we all bring something different to the table. And I recognize and I celebrate that, especially when I see that people have, very important to me, trustworthy, loyalty, ethics, and morals. I can't emphasize that enough. And so it was just a no-brainer that you're a part of the network. And Kim and I are both in the same industry, okay? It's not like when she came to CTR Media Network, she wasn't already doing what she was doing. And so I understand that and I value that. And so she has, because our workload was just too much, she has a where you can start your TV show from scratch, hence AKA you can also start a podcast as well, whatever you want to call it. We do it as well. And so what we do, she send people my way to join the network after they graduate from her class. And she send people my way, I send people her way. And that is how you truly build and scale up relationships and businesses, and also make a positive impact by locking hands with individuals who are just as good as you or better than you in order to get the mission out. And so I can trust that once I send people to Kim, that they're going to be treated with the dignity and respect. They're going to get quality services, because that's what we believe in. And that's what we do with CTR Media Network. So it was a no-brainer to send people over to her when our workload, we just have too many. We have so many podcasters that we produce shows and different stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, our workload is a little too heavy right now, but I have a qualified person. You can get into her cohort. Go
in
there.
the cohort. That's funny.
And you're done with Kim, and then you come on and join CTR Media Network, because I know they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready, you know. And so it's a breath of fresh air for me. And I'm grateful to God that we have it in-house with CTR Media Network, where we provide it, but also one of our podcasters, Kim, she does it as well. And we do business with our podcasters, because everybody that's a podcaster, they have their own things that they do. And so before I go out, or before other people go out on our team to hire and do different things, we go into the network. Hey, do you do this? Is what you do? Okay. You know, because we spread the wealth, we spread the time, because it's very important that we keep this economy going within the family, and then reach out when you need different things, because all of us need to eat, and all of us will eat.
And you make sure of that over at CTR Media Network. And so, listen, I want to let you all know that I am starting a group training, and I'm not going to timestamp it, but it is kind of relatively urgent. If you want to secure one of those seats, you can definitely reach out. You can email me. You can go through social media. You can call as well, but Kim at thebalancedoctor.tv, or you can call 704-944-3534 and get in on this next group training. And then, of course, I'm going to be referring you over to CTR Media Network to be a part of that streaming platform. Tell us where CTR, how the whole CTR Media Network works, because people would literally love to learn about that.
Okay, so what we do at CTR Media Network, we specialize in helping podcasters, businesses, and companies expand and leverage their market share in 3 places: social media, television, and podcasting. We also help them to diversify their reach through innovative podcasting techniques and media. So you will see that we use our magazines, we use our books, we use our blogs, we use the reach that we already have, along with our collaborative partners that we have, in order to get you out. We're pretty much that one-stop shop in regards to media in this new era, with the foundational piece of podcasting. We also have the layer of health and wellness, because you heard my story, like my testimony. I will always have a piece of health and wellness, and also the part of my life dealing with homeschooling and education, turning from a traditional in the school system educator to now being a homeschooling parent and about to have my baby graduate with God's help, a child that they said will never be able to do all of the things that he's doing. So I am internally grateful. So though all those pieces of myself is a part of CTR Media Network, and of course my husband with the photography and the videography, and built with all of you, all of your stories, all of our podcasters. It's not about me. It's about everyone that's a part of the network, their individual stories and the individual impact that they make as individuals. And then when we come together as a collective, it makes us more powerful because we have that one sound, that one voice, that we are determined in the midst of darkness to shed light on topics and subjects that need to be heard. And it's an answer to someone's prayer. Somebody been hoping, wishing, and praying for a breakthrough that only you can bring. And CTR Media Network is bringing it to your homes, from your cell phone to download the apps, from the online 24/7 online TV to the podcasts, to being on radio, to being in magazines. We have your back. And we care about you. It's not just about podcasting, even though that's our foundation, is about you as the podcaster, because I am a certified life coach. So we make sure we do those mental health check-ins with you as well, understanding the world that we live in, life be lifing, and making sure that we're personally investing in you. You're investing in us and we're invested in you. Okay. And we can't make you do certain stuff. We tell you how to monetize and all of that. But if you don't do it, then that's you. But you can't never say that we didn't give you the blueprint on how to monetize, how to do the things that you need to do, because we give it to our podcasters, our family. We call them our family, our podcasters. We give you everything. I give you my blueprint. I don't hold anything back. I give it to you because I want you to be successful. But you have to do your work.
You literally do give everything, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all. This is the website, so I want people to be able to see that. Everybody can see that, and just share with people. Let me put that. Yeah, this is just, I love that image because everyone's looking at you, and I see Dr. Connie Green in that picture, and I see Vera Thomas. I know some of the podcasters. Let's see. And
I didn't know that picture was taken like that, but it did capture the moment of time. And many of us met for the first time in person at that in-person event. So people and companies and event, they book us to bring our podcasters to go out to provide that red carpet experience. So we was at an event doing interviews, photography. We even had a hairstylist there doing hair, makeup. We had the whole 9 yards. Shout out to Sheree Unlimited, or AKA known as She Trucking. She was our amazing event planner because she also is the branding and marketing executive for CTR Media Network as well. And so shout out to her, and of course my hubby, Multi-Fair Studios, and also we had another amazing photographer as well, Herman, that was there, that encapsulated all of these moments that we had that I didn't even realize. So when I saw the photos, I was moved because it was God ushering us into a new era. And we had the photos that really, it was an idea that came to fruition. Okay. And through the love and dedication of people from the back that brought us to the front. Speaking of Sheree, that really came in and helped rebrand CTR. CTR was already out, and I took the brand as far as I can take it, but she came to me and she rebranded and remarketed CTR. And now we're very happy with the look, the feel of CTR and what we offer. And so it's just amazing. And stay tuned. We have a lot more podcasters that's coming to the network. Of course, we are going to be looking extensively at the people who Kim Jacobs is sending, because our recommendations, we look at the ones that come through the network, our podcasters really heavily. So you will notice that you're going to see more of Kim Jacobs graduates coming through, as well as some of our other podcasters with their recommendations as well, because we are actively opening have the podcasters, we having more podcasters and online TV people coming on. The online TV, you don't have to be a podcaster to do that, but if you have a streaming platform such as YouTube, Vimeo, and you want to be able to play your show 24/7 and be a part of our live streams, then you can join the network from that as well. You just don't have to do podcasting. You can do television, you can do online TV, you can do podcasting too, or you can do a combination of all three. We pretty much get you out there.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So they can stay connected with you. You have your own show called what?
The Tina Ramsay Show, and we're going into our 10th season, 2024, and it's a 2-time award nominated show. We are blessed to have over 150,000 listenerships, and we're currently in 67 countries ourselves. So we have sponsorships available for our show, as well as you can book me to be in person, come to your event, just like you can book our podcasters as well. I encourage you to support not only my show, but all the podcasters on the platform. Because like I said, even if we're talking about some of the same topics, we all have different perspectives. And what we need is that perspective to shed light so that we can go into 2024 without any barriers, any limitations, because we're sharing all this knowledge with you. And we intentionally allow CTR Media Network to remain open to the general public so that everyone on the four corners of the earth can see CTR. It's not behind a payment gateway, which is nothing wrong with it. Let me just say that. It's not anything wrong, because independent networks like myself, that's just a way that we make money so that we can sustain the network. So it's nothing wrong with that. But God placed it on me to not have it behind a payment gateway. It need to be open for all people to be able to see it. And then that's why we charge for membership placements and for commercial slots and getting you out there in media and coaching. So God is really working with me and telling me how to do things in a different way, where the content creators is put first versus being just another number on the network. And this is my plight that he has for me. So I'm not against the way that other networks operate that's independent like myself. I'm just saying that that's not what God told me to do. And I'm I don't know anyone that's quite doing it the way that I'm doing it. And this is the way he told me. And I'm just trying my best to be obedient to the assignment, and also still being respectful of all the other independent networks, whether it's television, whether it's podcasting, radio, whatever the case may be, because we need all of us. It's wrong with all of us, and all these networks, we need everyone. What I would like to see is for all of us to come together, because just imagine, we reach 350 million households. All right. Just imagine if all the independent, not mainstream, but all the independent networks, whether you're radio, podcasting, television, decide to come together. Can you imagine what will happen? Can you imagine? So we need to stop operating on these individual islands.
That's right.
We need to start coming together. And so CTR Media Network is all about community and coming together. And so I look forward to the time where we are not where networks in general look to each other to come together. Everyone is the next best and a great thing, because I can't take from what you're doing and you can't take from what I'm doing. It only adds more value to our audiences and our client base when we have more ways to share and help them grow. And at the end of the day, you should be about the people and not about yourself. So I just look forward to a time where all of us can come together and do the bigger purpose, because my goodness, we could shape the earth. And I mean, we could really independent, not mainstream, independent like myself, come together. That's our strength.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Listen, I want to put some of these images up. You might want to say a word or two about it right quick, and then we're going to get prepared.
Casey, he is a billionaire. I was able to come in and interview him and his amazing family. They have a health and wellness business called Aluva, and you will see that I play some of their commercials as well. Work with them, great product. You can check them out. We was at our event where I had to come speak in Atlanta, and also we was able to do our amazing things with She Trucking with Sheree Moore, and also of course my husband and Herman and all the people, the podcasters, and all of the people that helped us. This is another event where I go out in the community and help women with health and wellness and empowerment to make sure that we not only get our businesses together but our health together, and being in a room to encourage women to stop looking at each other as competition, but look at each other as beacons of light in order to help get everybody's mission and purpose out, and changing the narrative that we can't work together. This is where we get sanitary napkins, because I also have a sanitary napkin business as well, all natural products. And we literally raised 1,000 pads to give out to domestic violence shelters, kids shelters, the Boys and Girls Club, not the Boys and Girls Club, the Girl Scouts of America. So we teach them how to take care of their bodies, why natural is better, and take a taboo topic such as menstrual health and empower the young girls and also the women who've been suffering silence to be able to have a viable, cost-effective product that actually helps you with your health and wellness. And of course, this is my show, the Tina Ramsay Show. We're all about motivating you, sharing knowledge, having upbuilding conversations centered around 4 areas, which is business, wellness, education, and life. And that's just letting you know the reach and the accolades just from the Tina Ramsay Show. And so when you book and you invest to be on the show, this is what you're getting. And so then you know where your investment is going. Of course, our show is all on these platforms, along with 30 other platforms that we're on, but we couldn't put all those things on the thing.
It'd be overwhelming, huh? And then these are all of the different shows, some of them anyway, that are on CTR Media Network. You can scan that QR code and it'll take you right to the CTR Media Network web.
All the podcasters that have been on our network at one point in time that we had helped, in whether they're still here now or they grew like a butterfly, you know. And so we wanted to make sure that even if they're not with us, you're always with us. We want to show, because that is our work. This is what we've done, over 30 something podcasters and counting to date. And the goal, 50 to 100. It could be more. I don't know. Whatever God say to do. I'm just working on the assignment, honey. Just working on the assignment.
That's a good thing. And you have some events coming up, and I want you to know, if you're watching this as a replay and it's past that date that we're talking about, then enjoy the show, okay? But you can still go to ctrmedianetwork.com for any other events that would be coming up, because I know sometimes we replay our episodes. So I want to acknowledge that. But this event, you might want to mention and then tell people how they can learn about all of the events that's coming up. And then we're going to go ahead and get ready to close out right after this. So go ahead.
All righty. So we have the 2024 Empowerment Virtual Conference. This conference is to help everyone. We bring in thought leaders, entrepreneurs, educators, homeschoolers, people from all over. And of course, you know, I'm going to be talking about podcasting and homeschooling. We're bringing in speakers from all over the world that's going to be giving you strategies and tips and insight to help you grow during 2024 and beyond. The tickets are free. This is our first official. We do give backs and pay it forwards every year. This is one of the ones that we're doing this year. So if you would like to be a speaker, you can go to ctrmedianetwork.com and click the events tab to become a speaker. We're actively seeking sponsors and vendors for this event in order to do the production. So if you would like to be a sponsor, or if you would like to be a vendor, go on over and click those options, as well as we are so happy that we are now a nonprofit as well. So, you know, you give a donation that keeps on giving. All right, you can get taxed.
All right, everybody. Listen, all of the comments that came in, I saw one from Dr. Connie Green, who is one of our CTR Media family members. And she also graduated from the training program that I have, which is she has wisdom tips with Dr. Connie Green. So I'm so excited to see you on here. And thank you for your comment. She said two of her, I'm over here looking for the comment, but she said two of her best coaches. Yeah.
She's amazing. Love the pieces.
Dr. Lotus Rasay said it's important to do business with people that do business with you. And Sheree, hey Sheree. She said top tier premier shows. You would know it over there, Sheree Moore. Y'all check her out. Great interview. And Dr. Lotus said, you definitely want to partner with Kim Jacobs and get her training. She is backed and recommended by world famous author and trainer, Dr. Les Brown. And yes, we all love Les Brown, Dr. Les Brown. He's amazing and very approachable and still here on this earth as a living legend that's pouring back and pulling out the greatness in people. And I am so honored to know him and to be a part of his life. What a great testimony, Dr. Tina. I thank God for you and Kim. You guys are my favorite coaches. Both of you are amazing. And Virginia said awesomeness. We talked about that. All right. Any closing comment?
Yes. The one thing that I want to say to you guys today, I want you to stop operating in fear. I want you to understand that you are worthy, that you are valued. I don't want you to allow your past to dictate your future. And I want you to let go of the pain and the hurt so that you can blossom into the purpose that God has for you. Yes, things hurt. Yes, you may have went through some things, but that does not identify you. That is a part of your story. I want you to have the courage and the boldness, and also open your heart to trust again. Because some of you, you shut yourself down. A reformed person, myself, I need you to open up yourself for the possibilities of, I would say, balancing healthy relationships with people.
Yes,
okay. Yes. And I want you to do that and give CTR Media Network a try. Come on over. This podcasting, whether you want to get booked on shows or get in any of our magazines, or you need coaching, get with us, get with our podcasters, become a sponsor, do all the things, because we back you 1000%. We don't work with everybody. So the people that we work with, we really put our all in to all of you. And I'm happy that right now we have the open enrollment for more podcasters to come on to the network. So take advantage of it by going to ctrmedianetwork.com. Kim, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Our final episode sponsor that I need to acknowledge, and then we're going to close out today's episode, is none other than majorpt.com. And you all may know him because he's actually helped me transform. I've lost about 25 pounds in the past year. This was in 2022 over here. And this is now over here right during the Thanksgiving holidays. And this is my son that is one of our episode sponsors. He's lost over 100 pounds, no surgery. And he's taking a few clients virtually and in person right now. You can go to majorpt.com to learn more about his services. And I'm proud of what's happened. And so I just wanted to share this episode sponsor with you, majorpt.com. Let him know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. All right. That's today's episode, everybody. Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, thank you for pouring your entire soul out on the Kim Jacobs Show today. I appreciate it. What an honor and a privilege.
Oh, yeah. I have feedback from my audience and the following. They want to know more. We have so many new people that's following me, whether it's Dr. Tina Ramsay, the Tina Ramsay Show, or CTR. And so they don't know this story. The people that's been following me for years, they do, but we have so many new people. And so it brought to my attention that it's time to reshare. And I specifically waited to share it on the home front first. It will be shared all over on different platforms on CTR as well as outside. But I always go in-house first with our home first before I go out to everyone else. So it's an honor. And I said things on your show today that I never shared on anyone else's show in such amount of detail, I should say.
I am truly blessed and honored that that happened right here. Make sure you all know that the Kim Jacobs Show, we want you to support. This is the way that we keep our programming thriving and bringing balance to the world with wonderful guests like Dr. Tina J. Ramsay and all of the guests that come on to help bring balance to the world one household at a time. You can donate through our Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc. Go ahead and do it. Like you're already watching the show, take a moment when you get done and send a Cash App over to the Kim Jacobs Show, Kim Jacobs Inc., or paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or Venmo at The Kim Jacobs Show. All right. And that's ways. And I say that because we have the audio podcast listeners as well. Thank you all for tuning into today's episode. And I hope that you will be back tomorrow in your virtual seats at 11 o'clock a.m. Thank you, Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, for being an amazing guest. Couldn't ask for a better situation. I love you all. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you.